If you live the life inside of you, what's it going to guide you to? If you just be with the presence that's beating the heart, looking out of the eyeballs, before you do anything with it, if you just follow, if you were just here, like on its back, like a monkey, and just kind of let it take you, where do you suppose it's taking you? You know where you're taking it. You're taking it around the back of the shed, beating it for all the energy it can provide you so your identity can go have fun. But what is it, if it wasn't treated like that, what is it? And where would it take you? Right? It's like, how deeply can you trust that? How long can you be with that without being distracted? I wonder, is like, if you just sat there like this, just did that, you're not thinking, you're just kind of, how long before you're no longer there? Right? How long before you intentionally like moving beyond? Right? Because I think if you've reconciled what death is in yourself, there's nobody who can tell you. You got to do that on your own. Reconcile the life you're living, really dial it in so it's order amongst the chaos. Do you really think this body is a prison? Would you really think this world would be a prison? Right. Do you really think your consciousness could be stopped from going to mingle, maybe even integrate with something far beyond what a human perception is? So I don't think that's far-fetched at all. I've had those experiences myself, where I'm sitting there across from a light being, complete bathed in light, and there's no talking going on, and I wouldn't spoil the moment with it. There's so much richness in feeling. And it's weird because there's all this information in it. I guess you could say that. The mind could totally pick it up and start playing with it. But it was just like, no, leave it alone. Let it be what it is. It doesn't get diminished that way. So I just got to sit there and bask in this for a while. And even after that whole experience faded, I'm still basking in that. But it still is right there with me. It's like the minute I bring that to my fore attention, it's like that's a well of energy still. That meeting, that interaction, that experience is still a well of energy for me. Right? That's the interesting thing about the soul. It takes you from like well to well to well to well. Right? Makes you well. And what's interesting is when the more you do it, when things get difficult, they look pretty dark. You've got all these wells to drink from that are still energetically flowing. Why? Because it's something the soul made, not you. Where your well will run dry, the life inside of you never will. So the wells it sets, they'll water you forever. Yeah. It's kind of like what Don Juan was telling Carlos. You need to have these points in your life, these reference points.
Yeah, I was just about
right? Points of power that you can access when a situation arises that calls for it. And usually it's uncertainty. That's the one I found that all of those points in the past that are of power, they don't give me power over anybody. They're points of reference for the darkness in front of me. Because I find that each one of those points, like, having that interaction with beings of light, she was terrifying before that happened. And it was a shock to the system, complete shock. Because your energetic level, it's like the body's having a hard time containing it. So you're just like, so, you experienced all that, and that wellspring of energy, you realize you got that from adversity. You got that from facing a fear. You got that from facing something terrifying to you. Right? And so that's what that's for. So when you step into the next one, it's like, oh, the whole world's about to collapse around me. Oh, is it? Is it? Remember when you thought that last time? Let's go back to that point and let's see how this soul played out there. Now maybe the being inside that wants to transcend the grave and totally afraid of death can kind of work and go and maybe participate in the right way with what's in front of it now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of making that a mess,
Right.
to go, okay, this difficult situation in front of me, I fucked it up that time. Soul rescued me. Let's just go the way the soul did. Let's refer back to that point and see if the identity can actually participate with that without getting its feathers all ruffled, its panties in a bunch, if you will, on me. See if it can really ride that wave with the soul and be as unaffected as the presence inside. Right? It's like, well, what if the energy is agitated? Your identity is agitated with the energy within.
Right.
And if you get that thing to grip onto it, you are going to get sick. You're going to have something that shows up that's not going to be pleasant. And then, now you're going to contemplate death because it's coming for you. Right? It's like, have it be an advisor, but don't invite it in.